Okay, welcome. We're going to look at a follow-up example to a previous little idea, I guess, for those people who've never played drums before. It was dealing with quarter note rhythms, and quickly go over that, and we'll jump into what we're going to do today as an eighth note rhythm. And it's kind of the fundamental beat that you would have heard pretty much in every piece of pop music of the last 30-40 years, and beyond that actually. Alright, so the quarter note version with just the hands, and I'll do them on the tom and the snare drum. My right hand's playing the tom. I'm going to have two numeric counts. These are the quarter notes. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 1, 2. My right hand's hitting with every numeric count, so it's hitting on 1, it's hitting on 2, but my left hand is only striking on 2, so we get this kind of right, together, and that's the whole pattern. So I'll just do it on here for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it for real. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now, what you would normally hear is the right hand part played on either the hi-hat over here, which is hard to see on the camera, or a ride cymbal or a crash cymbal even, and the bass drum as well. Now the bass drum falls on count of 1, and so what's really going on is we've got this oscillation of bass drum, snare, or bass, treble, all the way through. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Just trying to do it really quietly. Alright, put the whole thing together. I'm playing on the hi-hat this time with a pretty tight hi-hat, as it tends to cover up everything on the camera. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we have it. What we're going to do though is we're going to make one change to this basic framework. We'll slow it down a little bit. We'll add the eighth notes between each numeric count. Now these are counted as and. So the counting becomes 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. What we're going to do is every time we're counting a numeric count or an and, we're playing our right hand again. Only change is going to be that we're just going to place our left hand on the 2 and the 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Probably didn't cover that very well. So what we've got is really a bar of 4/4. We've got 4 numeric counts. The numeric counts are of quarter note type. You ever see a time signature written down on a piece of paper, on a piece of music? The top number represents how many times the bottom number is repeated. The bottom number is either going to be the common ones are quarter notes or eighth notes, but it can be 16th notes or 32nd notes or half notes or any other possible duration. But the most common ones are quarter notes. Most music out there is counted off in quarter notes or eighth notes. Anyway, so if I just count the quarter notes and then we introduce the and counts into it, might be easier to follow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and up. Start doing it with the hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just playing on the tom there, or just shadow boxing on the tom for the time being. Let's try and put the 2 count into it. So in terms of coordination, half of the rhythm works out to be right, right, together, right. And that same sequence repeats. Right, right, together, right, 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 together, right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right, right, together, right, 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 together, right. That's our bar. I'll transfer the right hand part onto the hi-hat, and I'll actually play it this time so we can hear what's going on a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and there we have it. All that's left is insert the bass drum, and this goes on counts 1 and then later on count 3. So the snare is falling on count 2 and 4. The bass drum is on 1 and 3. So if you can visualize it in your head, it's much easier to wrap yourself around it. So I'll just jump into it. And 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Okay. Let's play a little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. Bit fast again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There we have it. Some 8 notes in a bar of 4/4 time. One thing you can do with this stuff that seems to be neglected sometimes is just moving your hand from this hi-hat position to a tom. Can make the texture more interesting. Generally it's just moving it to a ride cymbal or a crash cymbal. Look at that kind of sloshy white noise thing that you would hear in like a Van Halen song or a Green Day song even. Or it's kind of a thundering bottom end rhythm just by moving of your right hand from this one position here to a low tom. In this case my floor tom on my right hand side. So I'll just try a couple of those, just randomly going around. A lot of stuff with just the one basic rhythm, one basic pattern I should say, and just by revoicing it around the kit. Let's play the same pattern again. I'll just play it in the toms, right hand in the floor tom, left hand on any other tom you've got. So look at this kind of open pattern. Very old rhythm. To do a quick variation, we could add a second strike in the left hand. We get basically the introduction to Enter Sandman. So very effective and very powerful if you take the time to mess around with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you some other time.